presentation. So I'll be recording this. Yeah. Okay, so you can see that this is supposed to be a progress presentation. Yeah. So of course, for progress presentation, you can see that the stress is on results and discussion. But there are a few things that you have to still tell the examiners or the panel, because we have to remember that every time you present progress, it's not necessarily the one that listen to your proposal presentation. So that's why you still have to talk about the background of the study. So you can have the background of the study in a form of diagrams, cartoon, pictures, statistic. Okay, so this one gives you the guide to tell people, to convince people on the background of the study, why you want to do that research related, what is the issue, what is the significance. So statistical data, news, those are very good to be on the first or second slide. Yeah. So and then we talk about the problem actually, right? Whether that okay. Yeah. So this is the sorry, the problem. Okay, that this student wish to highlight that the current dengue analysis or dengue diagnosis system is time consuming. If it is the selective and sensitive one, is actually quite time consuming. So he wished to do something on that. So you can see that when you are using PowerPoint, when you are preparing PowerPoint slide, make sure that it's not too wordy. Yeah, not too wordy, because sometimes if you put too much words, those who are listening to you and those who are looking at your slide might be, get bored, or it's not interesting anymore. So you have to mix a proper size, font size. Of course, you have to know how to adjust the font size so that when we look at it, it's nice for your eyes to look at it. Okay. And then it's very good if your explanation is assisted with pictures. Yeah? Pictures, diagrams, photos, that helps the the listeners to understand. Yeah? And if they understand your presentation, so people will get excited. And of course, in the event itself, you will benefit from the if your listeners are excited with your project. Yeah. So do not use long sentences. Okay, try for slide presentation. Use points. Yeah? So you can see you can use bullets and try to write long sentences. Yeah. Try not to write long sentences. Okay, so now he's trying to, because you can see that from the outline there is no literature review. Yeah. For proposal, because you want to convince people about the project, of course you have to put quite a number of literature reviews, because you want to tell what has been done previously. But for progress presentation and final presentation, you have to put a bit, but it's not necessary for you to put a long literature review slides in your PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so this guy is talking about the DNA biosensor. We have discussed about his thesis. Now we are looking at his presentation slide. So you can see that the DNA biosensor, he's trying to tell in one single slide what is actually DNA biosensor, how does it work, and what are the advantages. So he's trying to tell. So remember that the listeners might be not an expert in this particular field. So you must be able to capture. You must be able to capture the listener, the panel, the examiner. Okay, in a single slide. What is it about? How does it work? So you can see that um, he has assisted with a very nice what we call as graphical representation of the uh, sensing principle. So, you know, it's just that when you look at it, okay, it's nice, okay, you can see some are highlighted with different colors, not too much colors, you maximum 3 colors. Okay, please do not have too much colors on your slide. Yeah. Okay, so this is how he tried to tell a story. How is it going to be? Yeah? What his final objective, and this is how it works. It should works in the end. Yeah. And then, of course, in his presentation, he actually is interested in having incorporation of nanomaterials. So he now talks a bit on the nanomaterials. So you can see that he zoomed directly to the nanomaterials that he is using. So he is using silicon nanowires as well as gold nanoparticles. So you can see that he's zoom in. So do not need to talk about other nanomaterials. When you previously you have done your literature review, you actually review a lot, but in this case, because you have focus on what nanomaterials that you wish to do, so you are now focusing on this only. All right. Now is the main objective. So this one, I don't know, I find it very useful if I have a general objective and followed by specific objective. Yeah. Okay. So general or main objective is the overall, because this is the goal of the study, is to develop a cost-effective dengue electrochemical sensor. Okay. And then based on this nanomaterial modified electrodes. Yeah? So this is your main study. And then this is your specific objective, what you want to do. So remember, we talk about objective. Objective must be measurable, and it is not a research activities. So when we say research activities, is you don't have to detail out. You want to do IR, you want to do GCMS, and okay. It is just enough if you say that you're going to do spectroscopic analysis that covers all the spectroscopic instrumentation or characterization. So if you mention that you're gonna do a morphological study, then that covers all the FISM, HR10. Okay, so you should group the research activities under certain objective. Yeah. So, right. Okay. So this is methodology. Okay. So after objective is methodology. So it's quite easy if you try to avoid words. Try to do a cartoon. This is called cartoon. Yeah? Graphical representation. Yeah? Graphical representation. I know it's difficult, but this helps the listeners a lot. Okay, as I said, if the listeners understand you better, then you feel good because you know they understand you. And at the same time, if let's say the presentation is for your advantage, then uh, you might be getting the grant, you might be getting whatever. If you are competing in competition, so try your best to do slides that people can understand. Yeah. Right. So again, you can see that he's using a lot of graphical assisted instead of flow charts. But there are, of course, he also used flow charts. You can see that the synthesis, the preparation, you do not need to put detail. You do not need to put detail like 5 ml plus 2 ml mixed together. Okay, you do not need to do that. Okay, you can just mention what kind of method that you wish to adopt. So this, in this case, is citrate reduction method. And then for you to confirm that you have gold nanoparticles, you wish to do this UV-vis analysis as well as morphological study. Okay. And then next one you want to do is preparing silicon nanowires, gold nanoparticles, modified electrode, and followed by the characterization. So this one, you because you have done research design, so you know what to do next. Okay, first you want to synthesize and then you characterize. And then after that you want to mix, because silicon nanowires was not synthesized, it was commercially obtained. So when what he did is to mix with the gold nanoparticles that he has prepared, and then to modify electrodes. And of course, again, he has to run characterization of the modified electrodes to check on the modification, whether it is successful or not. So you can see in methodology, it's easier if you write it based on your objective. Okay, so you can see his first detailed objective is preparation of no, it's not preparation of that one. Yeah, this one. You can see that the objective is to prepare and characterize. So he's using this specific objective to develop his methodology. Okay. So the second one is based on second objective. Yeah. Right. So you can see that now for the second objective, he mentioned about optimizing the fabrication process. Okay. Using RSM. So he's the one who actually in the RSM lecture, he's the one who is invited lecturer for the RSM. So you can, I hope that you can really try to watch it, because it is a very useful tool. And then through that RSM, he managed to get a few parameters optimized. For example, how much silicon nanowires, how much gold nanoparticles, and how much DNA that should be put on top of the electrode. Yeah. And then the third objective, again, I think he also used RSM for the hybridization. So maybe some of you understand the term hybridization, but of course there are parameters that you have to study to make sure that the hybridization is optimum. Optimum means the best. Right. Then objective 4, he evaluates the performance of the sensor itself. For its analytical performance means that he tested on the dengue virus, okay, whether it performed, not to say similar, at par to the standard technique, okay, whether it has the same performance or not. Okay, so now you can see that also in results and discussion, he used the same structure. He discussed the result and discussion based on the objective. Okay, so it's easy if you organize your methodology and your result and discussion, because for those who are reading and for those who are listening, we need to capture actually your presentation. So if your presentation is jumble, mix, it's not according to the organized structure, it's difficult to judge. So of course, starting from the first one, he has done, you can see that in methodology, he has done morphological, electrochemical behavior. All right, so let's look at the results. What do he have? What does he have? Does he has all these? Yeah. So he has morphological, just like what he mentioned in methodology. And then he has the electrochemical analysis, just like what he mentioned in methodology. So if you like have results, but it's not in methodology, it's not going to be correct. It's not going to be right. Okay. So if you have the results, so it must be also mentioned in methodology. Same goes if it is mentioned in methodology, the results should be in the results chapter. So it should complement each other. And then, okay, this is the second one, I believe. Okay. Yeah, this is under second objective. So he's using RSM. So you can see that he has results on RSM. Okay. And then let me see. Result 3 is the analytical performance. He's referring to his objective on analytical performance. So he has all the results for the analytical performance. Yeah. And also I would like to highlight, you can see that in his slide, he highlighted some of the interesting results that he sort of optimized. Okay, so stability 10 weeks. So which one is 10 weeks? So he highlighted 10 weeks. This one regeneration. Okay, second one 7 weeks. So he highlighted 7 weeks. So highlighting this one really helps the listeners. Yeah. Right. So this one also, is there any interesting? Okay, the color chose he has chosen is nice. It's it makes I mean, you can distinguish between the lines. Yeah. And then you can see, all right, on the analytical performance also. All right, and the optimization. Okay, this one is the real sample analysis. Okay. All right. Conclusions. Yeah. So you can see that in slides. Okay. Conclusions is just like answering the objective. Yeah? So it's quite straightforward. You just answer the objective. If you wish to write conclusions, I think that's the easiest way. Right. Okay. This one is not needed. Okay. So you can, I'll be showing another example. Okay. Just a moment. Okay, this is on dengue again. Okay, but this one is a different technique. This is more towards engineering. Okay. Right. So this is again on the background of study, the Y factor. Okay. I'm just trying to show you that the slides, examples of slides. Okay, specific objective, advantages, right? So she's using, this one is a she. Okay, I like this one. So you can actually tell people how the modification on the surface of the electrode, okay, is done. Okay. Right. Okay, again, a lot of usage on the pictures, diagrams. Okay. If you need to, you can show pictures, photos. Okay, this one, okay, she fabricate, prepare her own silicon nanowires. Okay. Okay, let me go. Okay. So let's say if you have wish to put IR, okay, so make sure the IR is very distinguishable. Okay, highlights the stretching, the whatever that you wish to highlight, okay. Make sure you have a good caption, a detailed caption. Okay, this one is very nice. If you can actually put the explanation together in the graph, okay. You might not understand this one. So okay, let's make it faster. Okay, I'm going to share with you, right. I'm not saying that this is not a good example, just a moment. But yeah, just, sorry. Oh, I see. Just. Okay. As I said, I'm not saying that this is not a good example, but when you look at it, the font is not really nice to look at. This is actually after I commented a few times, so there are certain, students who does not have the skill, but skills can be polished. So you need to practice on preparation of slide. So you can see that the size of font is not really standard. You can see antibiotics is the cosmetic is big, the food raw material is small, pharmaceutical is small. So it's not really nice to look at. Yeah. You can see that. Okay. So when you are presenting a morphological study, it's very important to highlight the scale, the magnification as well. Yeah? So it's very important for you to make sure that the information here is so that people can see. Yeah. You can see that the caption is not uh, it's not really nicely written. Okay. And then nanoparticles, it should be n, small n. So those simple things. Okay. And the shapes are said to be spherical shaped crystals. So this is discussion. Yeah? Discussion is not supposed to be in the caption. Yeah? Okay, you can see again that this is caption. So caption, the caption should be FTIR spectra or FTIR spectrum of certain, okay, FTIR spectra of whatever compound that you are presenting, but it should not have any discussion, yeah, in the caption. Okay, so you can see that here, you can see nickel salt. Nickel salt is not acceptable. What salt is that? Is it nickel chloride? Is it nickel nitrates? Or okay, and then you have nickel nanoparticles. You can see that the spelling is not correct. Okay, so those things actually make the listeners or the examiners irritated. Yeah, it feels, oh no, because we know that the presenter is not really spending time looking at the slide, or it's not really put an effort, yeah, in preparing the slide. So it makes me, you know, especially me, it makes me irritated. It's very irritating actually looking at it. All right. So you can see the font is very big for the figures, but the picture, the graph is very small. But the one that we want to look at is actually this one. Okay, it's not on the caption. Okay. Okay, so this is very, yeah, it's an eyesore. Ah, okay. The effect of type of buffer use. Okay, you can see that from here, there's no need for you to actually put it in a bar chart form. Yeah, it's just enough to be in table form. So this is one example of how you actually need to really choose which one is the best, whether it is in graph form or in bar chart form, or it's just should be in table form. So the information is just enough if you put it in table. And in fact, if you just put it in text, it's fine. Okay, what you want to tell is the citrate is giving you certain current, maximum current, different type of buffer, phosphate. Okay. The effect of accumulation. All right, this one, okay. Also, it's not suitable. It's difficult for you to sort of conclude which one is the best, which potential is the best by looking at these spots. There are small box, bigger box, so it makes you wonder why do you have that? Why do you want to present in this form? Okay, whether you have, it should be, if you want to put it in a graph, you just put it in a graph form. Okay, so same here. Okay, it might be acceptable, but it's so small. Okay, that's why you have to make sure it is, if it is important, you have to show it to the listener or to the evaluator of the examiner. Okay, all right, all right. Okay, so questions, yeah.